Scene 7. Interior. Canterlot Castle. A bedroom. Queen Chrysalis, as Princess Cadence, is in bed.
I must act more like that princess, at least until the wedding preparations are more underway. I almost got suspected. The pretense of shock will only get me so far.
Queen Chrysalis turns her head towards the main door. Princess Celestia, main servant, and Nurse Redheart come through the door. The main servant is carrying a tray, which holds a mug in his mouth.
This hot chocolate should help her recover.
Celestia, main servant, and Nurse Redheart approach the bed. They stop beside it. Celestia raises the mug by magic and gives it to Queen Chrysalis. Queen Chrysalis takes it in her hooves and grimaces slightly. Celestia looks at Nurse Redheart in a concerned manner. Queen Chrysalis looks worried for a second and then swallows the hot chocolate, almost gulping.
You shouldn't drink so fast.
Main servant looks at Celestia and Nurse Redheart with a concerned look. Queen Chrysalis finishes the drink. Main servant comes forward and she puts the mug back on the tray.
It was, just lovely. Very nice.
Celestia, main servant, and Nurse Redheart smile.
Is my favourite niece feeling any better?
Beginning to, Auntie Tia.
Main servant, Nurse Redheart, and Celestia hesitate.
I'm sorry to have to ask now, but I know it may be hard for you. But if it waits, it may be worse, and you may have forgotten some details. So I must ask you to tell us what exactly happened.
The creature appeared in my room. I don't know how. I saw her in the mirror.
Her?
At least I think it was female.
Nurse Redheart scowls at the main servant.
I was chased around the room. I couldn't get out. The doors were locked.
How were the doors locked?
I don't know.
Nurse Redheart scowls more fiercely at the main servant.
I threw a dress dummy at the window and flew out. I was chased around and then...
That's all right. That's all right. Just a few more questions. Did you see where the creature went once you escaped?
Queen Chrysalis shakes her head.
And what exactly did this creature...
Queen Chrysalis, Celestia, main servant, and Nurse Redheart look towards the side door. Shining Armour enters the room via the side door, slightly breathless.
Oh, Cadence, I'm so sorry.
Shining Armour embraces Queen Chrysalis, who grins nastily.
I wasn't here when you needed me. Don't cry. I'm here.
What were the results of the search, Shining Armour?
Not much to say. There were no traces of the creatures. They seem to have disappeared. Do you think it might have been one of those creatures that attacked Cadence?
Sounds quite likely. Cadence?
Queen Chrysalis looks over.
What did the creature that attacked you look like?
Body was black, mane and tail were teal. Eyes were green, one was twisted. There were holes in the legs, mane and tail.
That's an impressive amount to remember.
Queen Chrysalis scowls slightly.
I'm certain now that it was one of those creatures, but it seems this one was quite a bit bigger than the others.
Maybe this one was their leader.
Queen Chrysalis' scowl becomes more evident.
What I want to know is how the creature managed to get to Cadence in the first place. A creature like that surely couldn't have gotten in unnoticed.
Queen Chrysalis almost glares at the main servant, deliberately when he is looking.
Why are you looking at me like that?
Well, it's just that you had just left my room before that creature attacked me.
You're not suggesting that I...
What did you do after you left Cadence's room?
I was nowhere near her room.
Perhaps the tray in my room will remind you. I'm certain I could call at least 3 servants as witnesses. But perhaps you aren't to blame. Perhaps the creature put a spell on you to make you forget, and you aren't plotting against Canterlot after all.
I know you don't want to believe he was involved, Cadence, but we simply can't take the chance.
Shining Armour heads for the main doors and opens them.
I don't believe this. A servant?
What? I'm innocent. Cadence!
Shining Armour returns to the main part of the room, followed by 2 more guards.
Don't be too harsh on him, Auntie Tia.
The main servant looks around wildly. Shining Armour approaches Celestia.
Shining Armour, we need you to put up your shield. This is definitely enough of a threat. I'm afraid it may be for some time, at least until we know more about these creatures.
I'll go and put it up right away.
Shining Armour turns to Queen Chrysalis.
I'll be back in a few minutes, Cadence.
Hurry back.
Shining Armour leaves the room via the main door.
Princess Celestia, I would never plot against Canterlot.
The guards come forward.
I was the one that came and told you that Cadence was in trouble.
Then why won't you admit you came to my room?
Because I didn't. I wouldn't lie. It must have been somebody else.
Arrest him and keep him confined until we have more information about this threat.
The guards nod and grab main servant by the forelegs.
Those creatures have nothing to do with me. I wasn't involved.
The guards drag main servant out of the main door.
Cadence, I wouldn't do such a thing. I'm your friend. Why are you doing this to me?
Celestia leaves the room, followed by Nurse Redheart. Queen Chrysalis watches the shield go up through the window with a nasty expression on her face.